What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering, and for my final video, What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering, and for my final video of the day, a bit of advice and a quick warning about the Xbox Series X and S. God, fix your name nomenclature, Xbox. Warning about pre-orders and also some advice about where to get it and when you're going to be able to get it. So, first and foremost, a quick warning. We all know that the PlayStation 5 pre-order situation was a debacle. Even with advance notice, I fully expect tomorrow to be a debacle. I fully expect my first video of the day tomorrow to be angry rant, Microsoft pre-orders just as bad. Now, maybe I'll be wrong, but I have very little faith in the video game industry. Unless, of course, you're buying a sweet controller for your Nintendo Switch by Satisfy. Huge shout out to this video's sponsor, Satisfy, the makers of the brand new Zen Grip Pro. Now, I've had my Switch since about launch, and I've never used a grip on it. In fact, here it is. But what the Zen Grip Pro offers is amazing. It adds a ton of comfort regardless of your hand size. Let's take a look at what's inside the Zen Grip Pro bundle, which, by the way, will make a great Chris's birthday gift or a gift to yourself. Inside their case, you open it up, you've got spots for all of your games. Now, you could just get the grip if you wanted, but if you take the actual grip out, what you see on here is a lot of silicone on the back. So essentially your Switch will float on that, so no plastic on plastic touching. It slides in super easy, and it's in there. Like, it does not come out once it's in there, and it is infinitely more comfortable. And they gave me a special discount code, which will be in the pinned comment below. You can save 10% off. Not only support the channel by getting yourself an awesome new grip for your Nintendo Switch or one for your friend or family member, but you'll also be supporting the channel and a sponsor. So check out the Satisfy, either the Zen Grip Pro, or if you have a Switch Lite, they also have a controller. Link in the pinned comment below. Pretty smooth transition, wasn't that? Now, check out if you have a Switch, I know you're looking at maybe getting an Xbox or a PlayStation 5, but many of you probably have Switches and you don't have handles on them. This is amazing, and it helps support the channel. Link in the pinned comment below. Now, the pre-orders start in just under 12 hours, and there's already a warning issued, which I do want to carry on with you. This is by David Thier on Forbes. If your tastes run a little more green than blue this season, you might have skipped the absolute chaos that was the PS5 pre-order opening up earlier this week. Xbox is on its way, however, and pre-orders for the Xbox Series X and the lower-priced Xbox Series S both go live on September 22nd. Tomorrow morning, I'll give you all the times and stuff like that, too. And Microsoft has been clear that you'll get a little more warning than Sony gave you. Of course, saying pre-orders the 22nd. Xbox All Access pre-orders will also begin. It's all finally happening. So that's what you'll need. So that's when you show up, you'll want to try and get one of these things. But here's the warning. These things are going to sell out. They will likely do so in moments. Like with the PS5, new consoles almost always sell out for pre-order, and there is absolutely no reason to assume that this will be any different this time around. I expect the PS5 to ultimately outsell the Xbox Series X, whatever else, over the next few years. In these early moments, any and all next-gen consoles will likely be difficult to find than any other ones. I expect this to hold true at least through December, though if I were Microsoft, I'd be moving heaven and earth to try and make as many Series S's consoles as I can. Now, I don't know if this article was written before the Bethesda announcement this morning, that obviously Microsoft acquiring Bethesda and their library of games, Skyrim, Doom, Wolfenstein, things like that. But I would say, always know that it's not the end of the world if you don't get a console at launch. Remember the Xbox 360 Red Ring of Death? Those were all launch era consoles. There was problems with cooling on the PlayStation when it came out. There's all sorts of issues early on that get fixed in further generations. The article continues by saying, Luckily, waiting on things isn't a big deal. There aren't any major exclusive titles coming to either system at launch, and Microsoft is even committed to bringing first-party exclusives to the Xbox One for something like 2 years. If all you've got is a PS4 and Xbox One, you'll still be in good shape to play the biggest games of the holiday season. They'll look a little shinier and load faster on new machines, of course, but they'll still run fine on the old machines. There was already one of the strangest console hype circles in the recent memory thanks to the shutdown in the world, with the chances to reveal these things at E3 like usual, not to mention causing whatever widespread chaos behind the scenes. Now, where can you get one? What time is everything going to go on sale? So first, you're going to want to check, make sure what your local time is. So Newsweek compiled things, and I will put all these links in my description below as well. So Microsoft has officially announced that Xbox Series X and Series S and Series X, the typo, pre-orders will begin at 11 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So remember, when you go Google EDT to CDT or EDT to CST or whatever you want to do, make sure you know what time it actually starts. As it stands right now, that's a time you should be huddled around your fastest device, refreshing your retailers of choice. It might also help to read our list of Xbox pre-order tips to put you in the best position. That being said, as many eager next-gen console adapters witnessed with the PS5 pre-order fiasco last week, once retailers have a price and a release date for the highly anticipated item, they're not necessarily beholden to a hardware maker's rules. While we think consumer backlash over the chaotic PS5 rollout might compel stores to stick to the script, it's always possible you'll see some developments early. I think there's one Twitter, is it like Fatboy Deals or something like that? There's a Twitter handle that is pretty good at, I'm sure you'll all link it in the comment. Like, I want to work with all of you. I'm probably not an Xbox buyer normally, but for the channel, you know, for review and unboxing, probably, but I'm not going to sweat it if I can't get it. I hope that if you want to get one at launch, that you do. You're way more important than getting that than me. Some of the places you can get it, obviously Amazon, Walmart, GameStop, Best Buy, Microsoft Store, and Target. Here's where I would, if it were me, I would first try, I'm giving you all my tips. I would try a store that you can get a local pickup. Now, Amazon, however, seemed to have the smoothest pre-order operation, even though they sold out quickly. So like Amazon or a local shop. Walmart is super suspect. I've heard a lot of stories about people getting their pre-orders canceled and a wide variety of things like that. So I think you're probably going to want to watch out for Walmart. I'm not saying you shouldn't pre-order from Walmart. I'm just saying think about it. Now understand the difference between the S and the X is quite simple. The S, of course, they both have 8-core, 3.8 gigahertz processor, okay? The X has 12 teraflops of processing power versus 4 teraflops on the GPU of the Series S. That's obviously a big difference. The memory going from 10 gigs to 16 gigs, and the storage going from 512 gigs, which I think is kind of light given how big games get nowadays, versus the 1 terabyte, which I also think is kind of light for how big games are these days. The Series S is going to be just fine for a wide variety of people. And it makes it an easier decision because it's like $200 cheaper versus the PlayStation, which only has a $100 price difference, if I remember that right. The $299 for Series S is the most budget price system, mostly meant for 1080p gameplay. So if you don't have a 4K TV or you don't care about playing games at top tier resolution, the S may be preferred. It should also be noted, however, that the S doesn't feature a disk drive that essentially eliminates any possibility of buying used games or sharing software with friends. The only way to take advantage of lending is to purchase the $500 Xbox Series X. For those who like to compare them, the numbers are below. Now, look, what I would say here is be smart about it. I'll put links in the description so you can queue up all your windows for tomorrow. But understand if you really care about 4K or not, or if you really care. Think about, have you bought used games before on the current gen? If you didn't, this is probably not going to be a big deal. Don't get sucked into just, oh, I have to buy the bigger one because of it has more teraflops. I mean, yes, you're going to get a better resolution and fit and finish on the Series X, but if you don't even have a 4K TV, and we know most games aren't even taking advantage of this stuff for the next couple of years, heck, you could get a Series S today, wait 2 years, and then get a Series X and then sell your S if that's what you want to do. You have a lot of options with the Xbox, and with the news today about their acquisition of Bethesda and the upgrade to Game Pass, it's definitely going to pique a lot more people's interest in the Xbox if they were on the fence between the two, myself included. I hope you enjoyed this video. Links will be in the description below. Happy hunting, friends. We'll talk to you again real soon.